I lose. It's a dangle.
Yeah. Good morning, my roomies. It's Jason and Johnny with JJHOS of Sports, Episode 9, Season 1 finale. We'll be taking a little bit of a hiatus after this episode, and I'm coming back to you probably in the new year. But you got Jason and Johnny for one more weekend. What up, Johnny? What's going
Not
on?
much, guys. How are you guys doing today?
We are going to be playing some Chell while talking some returns that happened this past weekend, as well as Otani watch, really. So, join us, see if we make it to the next round of this playoffs format. It's actually up right now, 3-2 in the series. Johnny, Survivor
Yes.
Series last week. He
Yes.
showed up.
He did.
He showed up. Tell
He's
people
back.
who showed up. Who's back?
CM Punk is
CM
back in
Punk.
the WWE. It's quite big in terms of wrestling news.
Oh, I think huge. What WWE was not fooling around when they brought this guy back. I mean, he was plastered, shared. He's on every social media platform. People who don't even watch wrestling knew he was back.
Yes.
I'm telling you, this guy is
He's
gonna
a
make
megastar.
money. You don't got TKO stock? Maybe buy some.
And then that's another thing, too. I wonder how much his relationship with the UFC made him go back. Because he has a
Check
very
that
good
out.
relationship with the UFC still.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, I'll tell you personally, I did not think I would ever see him back in the WWE.
I think a lot of
Period.
people didn't think he'd be back in the WWE. But apparently he reached out to them. And apparently, what I read, I don't know how true this is, there's a report going on that he reached out to them before he reached out to AEW 2 years ago.
Interesting. Well, he still had Big Daddy Vince in charge. And I think he had a different opinion of where the company was going compared to where it is 2 years later. I mean, obviously they were coming out of COVID and stuff like that, so completely different frame of mind. But holy, is Punk bigger than ever? Bigger
Oh yeah,
than his
but
little stint in
even
that
going back
other
to that
baby
2 years ago,
promotion, you know?
even going back to 2 years ago when Vince was still in charge, it's like he said on Monday, he's not there to make friends, he's there to make money,
Oh, and
and
he's
money
definitely
he's
going to
gonna
make
make.
money. And not only for himself, he's going to make a lot of other superstars rich. I'll tell you that. So tell me, what do you think he does at WWE? What's the very first thing he does?
I think he goes to the Rumble. I think the Mania matches him with Rollins.
Yeah? For a title? No title?
The title.
I do think Rumble will be his debut return match. I think he pops out at number 30. Maybe he doesn't win it, but maybe it's him versus Cody. Final two. I don't know. It's going to be a very... Let's just say a lot of people are tuning in to that pay-per-view. Does the WWE even have a December pay-per-view? Sounds like
No,
they
they don't.
don't. So
They
next
don't.
pay-per-view is just Rumble?
Yes.
That's huge. That means actually Raw and SmackDown are going to have some great cards coming through Christmas. That's what it. That's what that's going to tell me. Probably going to see a couple bouts, a couple of challenges. I'm pretty sure they have a show at MSG in between Rumble and
It's a house show.
now. Oh, it's just a house show. It's not one of those like one of that ceremonial kind of we're back at MSG kind of match. So it gets kind of shown on TV.
No, they have tribute to the troops next Friday. 21 years of them doing it, so that's pretty exciting for the troops out
Yeah,
there.
that's good.
Punk would be there too. Punk would be debuting on
He's
SmackDown
confirmed?
next week. He's
Oh,
confirmed.
going.
Yeah,
He's going to SmackDown, eh? Oof.
he's a free agent.
Ah, they're gonna play that card. I thought they were gonna put him on Raw and trade quotation marks, Cody to SmackDown to begin.
No, Cody's just gonna win the Rumble.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's how they get him to fight Roman. Or he wins like an elimination chamber or something. Yeah. A fantastic return.
Oh, it really caught people. The way they did it, people thought the show was over. It was fading out, and then
Oh, he got them
right
with the
back
end
in.
credit. Yeah. You looped them right in. 100%. That's the good old Triple H special.
Triple H special, yeah.
Never expect the unexpected. Doesn't need to announce an announcement every week just so people tune in.
Exactly.
Speaking of Punk being sort of a generational talent, another generational talent that is everyone talking about and watching, and it seems like it's down to the wire. Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
Where is he going? It seems like right now it's just Blue Jays and the Dodgers sort of leading the charge.
It seems
think
like
they're the
those
ones
are
willing
the
to pay
final
for it.
two teams. The Cubs are there. I hear the Cubs are still there. They have some interest still. The Angels apparently still want him back, obviously. And the wild card is the Giants. Not many people know where the Giants stand on it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the Dodgers and the Jays as the top two. But the Jays have gained a lot of
ground
in making. A lot of people think that he may be going there. The betting odds suggest that he may be going there. Just the Dodgers are still a favorite, but the Jays have come such a long way up that they've made some serious attempts to sign this Ohtani.
I'm hearing that the reason a lot of teams have started to drop off like flies, like the Red Sox, have essentially pulled out. The Rangers pulled out also earlier today. I think the price point has moved. The needle, I think, initially was at 500 million, and we're probably at 600 now. And I think those two teams pushing that are definitely the Jays and the Dodgers. I look at the Jays, you got that whole sort of media empire with the Rogers that is just looking at Ohtani as more than just a baseball player. They are looking at him as a piece to grow not only their empire in other countries, the ability to sell Ohtani games to an American audience as well, because they're going to be popular. They're going to want to display the Jays on all their platforms. All this resale money that they'll get from just media rights to broadcasts and to being able to even interview Ohtani for specials. Those are all elements that a media company would benefit a lot more than just being an ownership group of that just is like an investment group or
Ohtani
owns a couple of
Ohtani
teams.
is probably the most special player to ever play a sport in terms of what he brings to the table.
Oh, for sure. He definitely brings more than just being an actual athlete. Like he's a global superstar. He is probably the top American athlete, American in the sense that he plays in America, and has sort of equivalent status to what would be considered a top footy soccer athlete, which would obviously have global presence and dwarfs a lot of like American athletes. Unpopular opinion here in North America, but the world obviously is beyond USA and Canadian borders. And when you deal with like a soccer player, like for example Ronaldo or Messi, you're not gonna have the same impact. And Ohtani kind of pushes that envelope. He's not obviously a Messi, he's not a Ronaldo in that sense, but definitely in the sense of bringing eyes to the product, bringing foreign eyes to a media outlet is definitely why I think Rogers is willing to pay anything to acquire Ohtani, just so that they can do that. Is probably the reason why the Dodgers are also willing to pay anything. Well, the Dodgers mainly because they just want the best players. Period.
I think the teams just want to win, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I think in terms of generational talent, Ohtani is definitely one of them. I know you and I want to see him in a Blue Jays uniform, being from Toronto ourselves. It would definitely be a pop.
I know all of Canada probably wants to see him.
Oh,
Shohei
100%.
Ohtani, if you're watching, come to Toronto. It's a great
Come,
city.
I'll buy you some sushi. I know a good spot. Uh, but
I'll buy you a drink.
some sake.
Drink some of me, Ohtani. If you come to Toronto,
Whatever you want.
drink some of me.
There you go. As many as you want. I can
I'm
tell
pretty
you
sure
right now.
I'm pretty sure, Ohtani, if you come to Toronto, you don't have to pay for a single drink anytime you want it. It's a city.
Yep. And Rogers, I can tell you that our buddy here, Johnny, he's giving you as much money as he can so you can buy Ohtani. So get on
I've
it.
already committed to a few games for next year, and I'm excited to see the renovations and all that, and I'm excited to see
That's gonna
Ohtani in a Jays uniform.
I'm telling you, people, the Jays is a baseball town. Toronto is a baseball town. You know, as
Toronto's a
much as
sports
Americans
town.
don't want to say it, we are a sports town. Okay, everyone else can go fuck themselves. We're a sports town. Eh, we're not just hockey. Fuck. Some would argue that Toronto is more of a basketball city than it is hockey now. But hey, we're definitely out there. We're definitely coming. Shohei's coming.
Shohei's coming.
I believe it. I believe it. Put it down. If you guys are betting anything this weekend, bet the Shohei coming to the Jays.
One thing I really hope stems is like you said, the media output. The Jays, for the longest time that I can remember, and maybe even ever, we have not had a Sunday night primetime baseball game.
That's ridiculous.
We have also this young talent with like Bo and Vladdy and Springer, Gausman, and I know Manoah didn't have a good year, but he was still like one of those touted
He's
people. And
1 year
never
removed from a Cy Young vote. You
yeah,
know?
but we've never had a primetime Sunday night game. Even away or home, never had it.
Yeah.
So let's get a Sunday night primetime game next season.
Oh, let's do it. Make it against the Guardians. June 23. That'd be great.
It's not gonna be against the Guardians.
Come on. But you telling me people don't like Ohio?
Yes.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. It's just talking on generational talent. You and I were discussing it earlier this week. Looking at other sports and who we think really sort of receive or deserve that title. I know your opinion is, well, generational talent should be determined based on performance on say the ice, the field, whatever, and maybe mostly like overall skill of a player. I argue that generational talent is basically how many eyes you can get on the product, and if you can actually change the trajectory of your sport and people like associate you with that sport. Even if they don't watch that sport, they know. Like, for example, we all know LeBron James plays basketball. We all know Tom Brady played football. We all know Ohtani plays baseball. We all know McDavid is a hockey player. We all know Alphonso Davies is a soccer player. All these kind of things. So, if I were to run down a couple of leagues, I want you to give me your generational guys. Let's start with the NHL. Who are your generational guys? And let's keep it to sort of the relative era, as in like, after Gretzky. Who's the generational talent after Gretzky?
Well, Lemieux.
Yeah. Super
And
Mario,
you gotta go
for sure.
Crosby or Ovi.
Crosby, Ovi, agreed.
And then I go, Matthews, McDavid.
Matthews, McDavid, with Bedard then potentially
With
holding
Bedard
the
coming
torch
up in the wings.
future. I would argue that, I've been talking to you about it all week. I share the similar list. I do think After Gretzky, everyone kind of was like, who's the next guy? Then it was Lemieux, right? People never put Gretzky and Messier sort of on the same line. Even though Messier had, just as good in terms of impact for his team, actually won a couple of titles without Gretzky on his team too. But you got Gretzky, and then Super Mario comes along. He definitely puts himself in that position. And then it becomes Crosby's show. It's Crosby, and then Ovi, obviously, because of that lockout year, you had this weird kind of thing where they both kind of started roughly at the same time. And then they just went off, right? One was that pure goal scorer, but also had sort of that charisma. And the other one was just like, I'm a pure hockey player and, boring like a hockey player. I don't really have a media presence. Sorry, Sid. I'm just basically a Canadian. You had no charisma to you, and all that. The torch was definitely passed to McDavid, guaranteed, right? That's who we talk about, we think about.
He's the best player in hockey.
You want to say Matthews. You want to say Matthews, but I see Matthews more of like he's a Hall of Famer, but he's not. He's not one. He's not a 1A, 1A, 1B like Ovi and Crosby were for their generation. It's just McDavid's 1, and then everyone else is 2.
I think Matthews is still generational. He's still a very good player, and I think if you're comparing him to like the skill of McDavid, then he's like
I'm not
Jesus.
comparing him to his skill. Again, I'm comparing
but
like people
talent,
know who
generational
McDavid
talent.
is.
That key word in that sentence is talent, and Matthews has talent.
I guess. But then if you want
to count, who moves the game, you got to change that from generational talent to maybe like generational star, because these guys aren't celebrities. They are celebrities, but they're athletes first. They're talent, right?
Sure. I'll give you that. I'll share that opinion with you. But then that list is a lot bigger than just Matthews and McDavid.
Well, for sure, but like,
talent. But for thinking like, star, then I think it's just McDavid. At least in a hockey sense. And then if I go to the other sports, like obviously basketball, it's still James. I don't think James has passed the torch really to anyone. Maybe Giannis, but
Seth.
He's not really. No, not really.
Seth
and
is
James
the greatest
are kind
shooter to play the game.
Yeah, but he's not evolving the sport.
He did evolve
outside of America. No, but outside of America, he's not. But, like you can't walk somewhere in I don't know, southern France, and if you were to say LeBron James and Seth Curry, someone would know who LeBron James is over Seth Curry. Like more people would know LeBron James.
Seth Curry.
More people would know LeBron James.
That's because it's LeBron James. But Seth Curry.
There you go. That's because it's LeBron James.
He changed the sport to be more shooting.
Yeah.
Without him, the game is still back in the 90s and that power forward game. But Seth Curry changed the game to shoot more. He's generational, guaranteed.
All right. I'll give it to you. I just don't. I don't know who the next one is in basketball. Maybe it's gonna be LeBron's kid just because of name sake alone. And then football, I don't think anyone's really taken the torch from Tom Brady yet. It's probably Mahomes. It probably will be Mahomes after he wins maybe 2 more rings. But there's nobody who's in that spot right now that's just like Brady's gone. Who's the face of the NFL? Like you can put Brady in any movie and someone would know he's a football player.
Oh, for sure.
If you put Mahomes' face in like a Hallmark movie, no one would know that's Patrick Mahomes. Like no random blonde 40-year-old woman would know who the fuck Mahomes is.
Yeah, probably not. You're right.
Right, but they would know who Brady is. So I wonder what will come out of NFL, because NFL doesn't really create a superstar like that. But again, it probably does come with success over time. Tom Brady probably wasn't known really well in his first 5 years, right?
Being generational comes with success. You have to live up to the hype, right?
Many times. And then, so if we're talking football, baseball, obviously Ohtani. I don't think anyone outside of Otani is really there yet. I think there'll be some guys there soon, but don't see it yet. Oh, well, dude, we won this game fairly quick. Takes us to the next round. Takes us to the end of the episode. Takes us to the end of the season. Johnny, any last words for folks? We're probably only going to see them in the new year.
No,
We'll
just
still be,
thanks,
yeah,
thanks guys for watching with us and your feedback and all that. We appreciate it, and we look forward to catching up with you guys in the new year. So have a happy holidays. Enjoy your time with your friends and family. And if you have any questions, we'll still be active on the
yeah,
socials. So just comment, like, send us questions, and we'll
you
respond.
got
And
it.
any topics you want us to discuss, we'll be more than happy to in the new year.
Couldn't say it better than myself. With that, folks, stay safe. If you're driving in the winter conditions, be careful. When it comes around the holidays, indulge yourselves. Have some great time. Just don't drive home if you're drunk. Please. And thank you. We thank you, thank you, thank you. It's our first go at this. Like I said, we're amateur podcasters. We're shooting the shit. We're just trying to have fun. And we hope to see you guys around, and we look forward to talking more sports come January. You'll probably see us in a different set of uniforms. With that, peace.
Laters.